For sure.
All right, everyone. We will give this just a second to get out to the platforms that we're on. This is streaming live on Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. So we've been doing a series here for several weeks featuring some of our locations. So far we've covered Percy Priest Lake, Old Hickory Lake, which are both in Middle Tennessee. Then we hopped on over to hit some of our East Tennessee locations, and we covered the three that we have on Fort Loudon, and that was our last one. And now we're jumping back over to Middle Tennessee to hit up Tim's Ford Lake. Appreciate all of you. I know a lot of you are busy and you can't actually make this live on Wednesday evening. So it is available as a recording on both our Facebook and YouTube. And a lot of you have been going back and watching the recordings when you're available. So we appreciate that. We appreciate all the great feedback you've been giving us on these. It sounds like they're super helpful and hopefully encouraging some of you who tend to go to the same places to venture out and try out some of these other amazing locations where we have Freedom Boat Club boats and locations. So again, we're going to highlight Tim's Ford. So let's get into the agenda. Actually, before we get into that, do want to make a couple really quick announcements. For Middle Tennessee members, we have a really exciting member social event that we're planning coming up June 15th, which is the Saturday of Father's Day weekend. But we've lined up all day access to Nashville Shores Water Park for our members. So you can come out, enjoy the entire day with your family at the water park. We'll have some food around lunchtime available for everybody. Bring your whole family. We are going to ask that everybody RSVP and buy a ticket. The tickets are just $10 per family, and that money is going to go to charity. So we're going to have three different charities that you can choose from for that $10 donation to go to, but that's going to be what allows you to get into the event that day at Nashville Shores. So we're super excited about that. And then I've got Jeremy on with me tonight. Jeremy is our location manager at Tim's Ford. So super excited to have him with us since he's the expert. But we are planning a member social event this month yet at Tim's Ford. So we will keep you guys posted on when we lock in a day and time. But we're hoping last year we had one at the Hard Dock Cafe right there at Tim's Ford Marina. We'll talk about that location here in a little bit. But that was super fun. Members really enjoyed it. It's just a good time to come out, hang out, enjoy some food, get to know each other. So hopefully we'll be able to get that set up for you guys, and we'll keep you posted as soon as we can on the date and time when we get that locked in. So yeah, let's get into it. Jeremy, just if you wouldn't mind, just kind of introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Taylor. I'm local here to the Chelmsford area. I actually live right across from the lake in Essel Springs. So being close to the marina is a big deal. And then I also have a houseboat there also. So I'm there more than I probably should be, but it's the lake life. I love it. I love the people. I'm a people person, and just can't wait to see all the new members that I haven't got to meet yet. So
Yeah, and you know a lot about the area too. So if people have questions, if they're coming from out of town, you're a wealth of knowledge. So we very much appreciate you and your DJ. I think you're doing an event this weekend, aren't you?
yeah, I'm actually going to be doing singing this time.
Oh,
Mariah,
okay, singing. All
yeah,
right.
Mariah, she requested that I do a singing gig. So that's what's going to happen in East Tennessee this weekend at the splash party. So
Awesome. Well, normally Mariah would be on with us, but she had to bow out this one. You know, the season is here. There's a lot going on. We're trying to get all the boats activated for you guys so you can make your reservations. So, scrambling to get all that done. And so she was just a little too busy to hop on and join us tonight. But we'll still have a few more of these upcoming. We've got to hit Center Hill Lake here soon and go over that location, and then a couple more East Tennessee locations, Watts Bar and Norris Lake. So we'll keep bringing these to you until we get everything covered. But tonight, our focus is on the beautiful Timms Ford Lake in Winchester, Tennessee. So we're going to kind of talk about some of the various restaurant options that are available on the lake, our Freedom Boat Club location, amenities, and our 2024 fleet. And then we'll talk about some places to stay in the area if you're coming from out of town as well. And we'll hop on Google Earth like we've been doing and just kind of do a virtual tour so you can get a better visual of where some of these locations are. And then we'll wrap up with opening up Navionics. And there's not a ton of hazards on Timms Ford, but there are some areas that should be mindful of. So we're going to go over those and wrap it up with some Q&A. Normally, Mariah can monitor the comments for us, so we might just save those till closer to the end. But we'll try if we can hop on and pause here and there and go back and forth a little bit. So, all right. So Timms Ford, these are our locations here in Tennessee. So you're looking all the way down here south. Near Winchester, Tennessee, as we mentioned. That's where our Timms Ford location is. It's about an hour and a half drive, I think, from Percy Priest. Jeremy, does that sound about right?
Correct.
Yep. And totally worth it, in my opinion. I know when we opened our location there a few years ago, and then I went there for the first time, I was like, wow, I think this is my favorite Freedom Boat Club location at this point. The lake is just beautiful. It's easy. So yeah, if you haven't been there yet, I hope this encourages you to go check it out.
Clean water, very clean water. You can
Yes.
see the bottom around the docks and stuff. It's so clear there. Right now it's not because of the pollen, but
spring rains and stuff, doesn't help. But yeah, so near Winchester, Tennessee, it's formed by the Elk River. It's named after Abner Timms. I was always curious. I was like, where did Timms Ford come from? And I remember when we first added that location, I kept wanting to put a apostrophe S all the time, but it's just TIMS. But Abner Timms, he actually helped construct a ford on his property back in the 1800s, which is the current location of where the dam sits now. The dam was completed in 1970, and Timms Ford's approximately 150 feet deep in the main channel, so pretty deep lake, 34 miles long from the dam to the northeast, 250 miles of shoreline, and 10,700 acres, or about 16.7 square miles. So quite a big lake for you to enjoy. Full pool is at 888 feet. I checked it here a little while ago. I think it's only about a foot and a half down, maybe just a little bit more than that. But I was actually surprised how much it fluctuates at winter pool all the way down to like 870, 873 in there. And so I know there's a couple areas, or one area at least on Navionics, that you want to look at if you're ever out there when it's down to that winter pool level. So we'll be pointing that out here in a little while. But as Jeremy mentioned in the info that he sent over to me for this, is that it is the perfect lake for water sports, tubing, skiing, surfing, fishing, or just going out and relaxing in a cove. Anything to add there, Jeremy?
no, yeah, it's just a great lake, and I have several Nashville people that skip the other lakes because that's just what they prefer. That's what makes what they're trying to do with their families and stuff. So I do get a lot of Nashville people, and great great people too. I mean, everybody's
Yeah, people.
awesome.
I think once you try it out and you go there, you realize how amazing it is, and the drive becomes not as big of a factor anymore.
For sure.
It's totally worth it. So this is just a overview map to kind of give you an idea of the vastness of the lake. I know you can't really read any of the writing on there, but that's just to kind of give you an idea of what Tim's Ford actually looks like. So we'll jump right into where we're located on Tim's Ford Lake, which is at Tim's Ford Marina. They have the Hard Dock Cafe, as I mentioned. We'll hopefully be doing a member social event there this month for you guys. But they serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, full outdoor bar. It's a pretty cool vibe with that outdoor bar. Live entertainments typically on Friday and Saturday nights. They also offer rental cabins overlooking the lake, and of course, Freedom Boat Club. Anything else to add about that, Jeremy?
The cabins were all redone. I don't know when it was, but they have been upgraded. They're not outdated or anything. They're real nice cabins. So.
Yeah, so that's a great option. If you're coming from out of town and you want to make a little mini vacation out of it, check into renting those cabins there. They have a campground as well, or is
It's pretty much for full time residents
I
there.
got you.
It's
Okay.
not, yeah, it's not week to week. So.
But the state park is super close by, and we'll talk about that in a second too. So
Yep.
at our location there, we do have free parking. Jeremy's working on an ice solution for members, so hopefully we'll have that rolling here soon. And
I've
of
already
course,
got
we have
I've already got it. So
you already got it?
yep,
Perfect. Awesome.
I've been working on it all week, and it's in place. So
Awesome. You're on it.
yep.
And also, of course, just like all our other locations, we have a great selection of water sports equipment for you that is included with membership. Any tips or anything about the parking there?
Weekends, especially holidays, it's kind of tough to park, but morning won't have as big as a deal coming in the morning. In the afternoon, it can get a little hectic on parking, but there is. I've never had a problem with anyone coming to me saying I could not find a parking spot. So
Awesome. And can you talk just a little bit about where we staged the boats there, just for somebody who hasn't been there before?
yeah, generally, my office is a unopened slip or two unopened at the office there. I generally will bring boats there to board people if I do have room. If not, I'll put them over to the curb or the gas dock, and that way they don't have so far to walk. But I've got some slips over on right behind my office now that's super close and is a lot easier to stroll a rolling cooler down those fingers. So I'll probably start using those, being that I have so many slips that close now. But yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty easy. Yeah.
Very good. And let's see, I gotta find my cursor disappears on me sometimes. There we go. So the 2024 fleet now, continuing to just slowly grow the number of boats we have there, as we're slowly growing the number of members that use Tim's Ford on a regular basis. So I looks like a very great mix of boats. I'm sure Jeremy, you're excited. Of course, we've got the double decker slide tune that everybody loves, especially if you have kids. Sweetwater Bowfish, which is a great platform for getting out there and doing some fishing. We'll talk a little bit about the fishing on Tim's Ford. Uh, the Harris Cruiser Tri-Tune, which is just your more standard Tri-Tune, and of course bow riders. So we're up to 3 bow riders there now. And then if you're elite level member, we've got 2 Taiga Z1 surf boats and the 300 horsepower Harris Sunliner. Any other comments on the fleet, Jeremy?
Uh, the Harris, everybody's loving them. I did have one for a little bit last year. Having the rear facing seat, while people are tubing, that's kind of a fun option on those boats. But great feedback from the people that have went out, and the double decker, of course, it always is a big hit. So I started out at 7 boats last year, um, added the Sweetwater bowfish, got it up to 8, and then having 9. That's a lot of boats for just a little bit of time. So
Yep,
that just means that people are loving it and joining. So and
absolutely. And that's one thing. You mentioned the tubing. Um, that's one great thing about the Sweetwater Bowfish as well, because it's a wonderful fishing platform, trolling motor, live well, fish finder. But you can also tube and just relax, and so it's a great versatile boat to have. So excited that we're adding more of those at locations, especially for people that want to get out there and enjoy some fishing as well.
it just has the 150 engine on it, but it's short. It doesn't have the heavy furniture, so you can build it. It's actually a great boat for that kind of stuff, also.
Yep, yeah, 150 for that boat's still plenty of power. So we'll talk about Timms Ford State Park, which is not very far at all from Timms Ford Marina. We'll look at that when we dive into Google Earth. But they have Lakeview Marina there at Timms Ford State Park, which they have a small food menu, but I've heard a lot of people rave about the ice cream. So you can go there, get some premium scooped ice cream, variety of different flavors. It sounds like a really fun summertime thing to do. Um, they have the campground there. You can a tent camp or RV. Miles of walking trails, wildlife viewing area, and the Jack Nicklaus Bear Trace 18-hole golf course for you golfers out there. So make a weekend of it. Come out, go boating one day, stay overnight, go golfing. Sounds like an awesome little mini vacation, if you ask me.
Yeah, and also I guess I forgot to add that in there that they have several rental cabins also
Oh,
throughout
perfect.
yeah, they have a lot of options on rental cabins. And
Good deal. So yeah, if camping ain't your thing or you don't have an RV, it's great to just rent a cabin.
for sure.
Awesome. All right. Did I skip I thought I had a slide about fishing. Did I skip over that?
I have
Or
not
maybe
seen one come up yet.
let me close out of this real quick just to make
Yep.
sure. Unless it got accidentally deleted, or maybe it's might have got accidentally deleted. So I just wanted to cover that real quick because yeah, I'm not seeing it in here. Um, so yeah, it is a really great lake for fishing. They have a lot of tournaments there. Big national tournaments, but you can catch a variety of fish. Bass, of course, both largemouth, smallmouth bass. I always love the fact that Tim's Ford has walleye. It's one of my favorite fish that I grew up fishing. And then what striper, hybrids, any other species that are predominant that you can think of off the top of your head?
No, you've hit them. A lot of crappie, great crappie
Yeah,
fish in
crappie
there.
fishing, huge on Tim's Ford. So I always like to cover fishing. Not sure what happened with my slide there, but wanted to make sure we got that in there, especially now that we got that bow fish there. So, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other restaurants and places on Tim's Ford. So we've got the Bluegill Grill. That is at Holiday Landing Marina. Seafood and other options on the menu, beer, wine, and slushies, both alcoholic and non alcoholic options. Live entertainment on Saturday evenings. They do sell fishing bait and tackle there if you need that. And then they also have hotel rooms and some A-frame chalets that actually overlook the lake that you can rent. So more places right on the lake that you can stay. These are what the A-frame chalets look like. Jeremy, have you ever stayed there, or any comments about that?
I actually have stayed in the A-frames, and they've got a loft up in the top that's pretty cool. I think it was 2 full beds down in the bottom part of it. It's bigger than the outside looks, really. And as far as the restaurant goes, it's I mean that one you walk out and you feel like you're at a little tiki bar or something. Just the atmosphere. All the marinas have different atmospheres, and that's just one that just feels like beachy to me. So
Yeah, cool. I love that type of atmosphere. I love Florida, so anything that kind of has that vibe is always fun. So there's also a restaurant called Drafts and Watercrafts. It's a floating restaurant at Twin Creeks Marina, and they have a variety of different food items and a full bar. Live entertainment, Jeremy, almost nightly.
pretty much there is some form of entertainment every single, whether it'll be a trivia night or they have a lake idol once a year. It seems like they have it twice a year, but I know at least once, and it goes on for a couple of months, and $1,000 goes to the winner of that, and there's a lot of participation in that one. And but like Sundays got like acoustic and full bands on Saturday night. But yeah, so some form of entertainment every night there. And
Very
that
cool.
houseboat, I did not notice in that picture before that I was probably on that because we'd come fuel up and eat and park right there at the fuel dock. So that's one of
Nice.
Tim's Ford houseboats.
Very cool. They also have a RV park there, and then condos overlooking the lake with private boat docks. Are those condos for rent or are those
They're
residential?
they're a weekender for week or weekend. It is. I did take a tour with one of the owners, and just because I was curious and what they're 4 bedroom, humongous upstairs, downstairs, condos that have a big deck off the back and a shared dock. So if you do have a boat or stayed there, you could drive one of the rental boats there and dock it on the dock. But they're brand spanking new, so they're just now starting to rent this past year.
Very cool. Love all the options that people have. There's even more campgrounds and RV parks. Fairview Campground, they have RV and camping, lakeside sites, bathrooms and showers. And then the Forest at Tim's Ford RV Park with really nice concrete pads, restrooms, showers, laundry. That one's not right on the water, but it's just a 1 mile drive from the Tim's Ford Marina. Um, so yeah, uh, love all that.
Yeah, that
And then,
campground when they built it was. I think they told me there's 6 miles of concrete in there, and that's including the pads and everything too. But I mean, they
oh yeah,
wanted they wanted it to last, look good for a while. But it is a great option for camping also.
very cool. Well, before we get into our virtual tour, we'll look at this on there. But Tim's Ford does have a party cove, like a lot of the lakes have. So that's just an overview of where it's located. But we'll pull it up on Google Earth and take a look at that. Um, but yeah, I saw some pictures. I don't know if there's one I think there. So yeah, a lot of people just tie up, raft up, and have a good time. And then Jeremy, you mentioned, you're liable to maybe run into a celebrity or two when you're out around Tim's Ford Lake or at one of these restaurants or just boating. But there's several artists, of course, with us being so close to Nashville and Tim's Ford being such a beautiful lake that it is, definitely attracts a lot of the stars to get second homes on Tim's Ford.
Yeah, for sure. And right around for me is on this lake close to my house is well, I can't remember his name now. The financial guy, Dave Ramsey. He
Oh,
he has
Dave.
a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a house right down from me. So
Yep, I remember he used to be big into water skiing. I don't know if he still does it so much anymore, but pretty cool. All right, well, we'll jump on over to Google Earth and do our virtual tour so you can kind of get a better visual of where some of these are located. So I'm going to share my screen. There we go.
I'm in
All
my
right, so
shed
we're
out back, but I've got a shed that I turned into a guest room. So I didn't want no tapping dogs in the house,
yeah,
on the hardwood floor.
yep,
So I just wanted some silence. So
yep. I had to shut my. I'm on the houseboat, and had to shut the door just to make sure that the dogs didn't come running back here. But yeah, we're going to zoom on down to Tim's Ford Marina. We'll start there and then we'll just kind of go on a tour from there since that's where you'll be boating out of. So as you can see, our dock area, and this is probably an outdated picture, but it's kind of right here, and that's the gas dock that Jeremy mentioned. So your parking's up here in that area, and then you just walk on down the hill. The restaurant's over here, and in the little outdoor bar patio area, and then right from the patio, you look down and you see the Freedom Boat Club location. So pretty
Could you
convenient for sure.
could you zoom out just a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe my office was over on the courtesy dock, but no, that's an old picture because it's not
Yeah,
showing
who knows?
the office at all.
I don't know if it will tell me. I don't know that that's accurate. You can change the view to different years and stuff, which is always kind of fun to
No, I
see.
got. Oh,
But
that's cool. I did not realize that.
yeah, I use it for fishing because when I'm researching lakes, I can go in Google Earth and change, look at it when the water's maybe low and be
Yes.
able to see some of the structure that you can't see with your eyes when it's up higher. So it's definitely a useful tool for fishing. Almost gives you an unfair advantage, but I guess everybody has access to it. So we'll look at that campground we mentioned. That's just a mile away. Pictures, there it is. It's just a picture there, but yeah. So right up in here, this is the one that with all the concrete, right?
Correct.
You can see all that and all the nice RV sites. So yeah, just a short drive up the road from Tim's Ford Marina. So that would be super convenient for anybody who wants to RV or camp for the weekend or a week or whatever it may be. And then Tim's Ford State Park, also super close. So we'll zoom in there. If you just kind of come out of the marina, boat under the bridge, go around the corner here, and you can go in there and get you some ice cream at Lakeview Marina. Kind of what that looks like.
They have a lot of walking trails too. My wife's a school teacher, and they just took their kids there on a field trip and did the trails last week. But yeah, the bridge is pretty fun to go across. There's two of those.
Nice. Yeah, that bridge looks awesome. Also, maybe scary. Is it? It's one of those like swinging bridges.
Yeah, it kind of shakes as you go across.
Cool. All right, and then of course Party Cove is not too far from there, so it's in. If you see, if you have your Navionics up, I think it shows you this bluff cliffs, but it's
Yep,
in that cove. Is that correct? Did I get it in
that's
the right spot?
correct. That is
Awesome,
yes.
perfect. Yep. So go hang out there on the weekend, have a good time, and then we'll hop on over to the other campground we mentioned, Fairview. So that's gonna be way over here. So we're kind of leaving this area now. If you're coming out of the marina the other direction, you've got Fairview Campground over there that we talked about. Zoom in on that a little bit.
That is a popular campground. That is also a state park ran.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
it's
run by the
owned.
state park. Hmm.
Is that the one that's owned by Tim's Ford State Park
Yes,
or?
Tim's Ford State Park is over that. So when you reserve it, you'd reserve on their website.
Gotcha. And
Also,
then if
any of the islands that they do it on their website too. All the islands have camping allowed on that too. So
okay, so you reserve those on the website too.
yeah, and I think they're free. But I'm not 100% sure, but some of them do have docks. Of course, we don't beach our boats, so we wouldn't encourage anybody to get one that did not have a dock with it for sure.
Right. Yeah, and
And I
that's
had
one thing I wanted to ask. Even the main Tim's Ford State Park that we were looking at, I noticed they have docks there. Would they allow you to keep your boat there overnight?
um
Do you know?
there's not they've got a lot of rentals in there, but I do not know if they would allow you or not. Um,
Something we could
yeah, we
find
can.
out.
I could look at the people that run that is the people that sold Tim's Ford Marina recently in the last several years, and they run that shop down there, and I'm real in good with them, and I'll get an answer from them because I think there is some empties where the rental boats are that they would let me keep a overnighter. So, but I'll look into that.
Yeah. So yeah, you pass Fairview Campground. If you keep on going, then you're gonna eventually run into the Drafts and Watercrafts restaurant at Twin Creek that we mentioned. So there's that option as well. Condos and RV sites, I think we said there.
Yeah, and that was a rough draft of that marina.
It
It's
looked a
all
little
it's all
not
covered.
accurate.
There's not a double deck, but it's all covered. But the rest looks spot on, really.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I was like, wait, that's a cartoon.
They actually have
Awesome.
a stage area down by the campground that they'll do concerts like they have a I think they did a Fleetwood Mac tribute band, which is a band that plays everywhere. I mean, like at the Von Braun, but they'll have several big bands they bring in a few times a year. So
Nice. So where is that stage area?
I do not know where the stage. I know it's
Oh,
over by
okay.
the campground somewhere.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a big development there. And
Hunter
then we
Hunter girl played there. The girl from um, was it The Voice? No, America's Got Talent. She was from Winchester, or is from Winchester, and she played
oh,
there
that's cool.
after after the
Very cool.
show.
So we'll kind of head on back toward Tim's Ford Marina, and then we'll go up here where Bluegill Grill is that Jeremy mentioned. I grabbed that picture, but
Well, on Navionics, when we get to that part, there's if you when you're cruising out of there, there's just so many bridges and roads that they're labeled on Navionics that's pretty cool to see where they had flooded it out. That those are labeled on Navionics
oh
also.
yeah, I think I did notice that when I was looking at Navionics earlier. So yeah, very cool. So that's the Bluegill Grill. So yeah, anything else you want to show on Google Earth before we hop on over to Navionics?
Well, you pretty much covered everything.
Awesome. So yeah, big old lake. You don't
Hey,
have anybody ever run out of gas, do you?
no, not usually.
That's
And right there at Awalt, there at the Bluegill, that was a town called Awalt that was flooded when that dam was made. So there's a lot of good history behind that. So
yeah. I love the history of these reservoirs. It's always
yeah,
fun to get to kind of know that. But
and they
all
generate
right,
electricity with turbines out of that dam also.
all right, we're gonna share Navionics here. So where I have the anchor, that's where Tim's Ford Marina is located. So we'll just kind of start there and hit some of the hazard areas that you might want to be aware of. Of course, just as you're looking at it, we color code our depth ranges, and the majority of Tim's Ford is purple. So very similar to like Center Hill Lake, which is nice because it's just a little bit less that you have to be worried about. But we do have a few places that we want to point out. So the first one, I guess, is let me just make sure I'm not missing any. There's some rocks here that let's see, what do they call that? Fanning Bend, I guess.
They call it Mud
Yeah.
Island, but they also call the one in Ethel Springs Mud Island also. But that's what they refer it as.
It was funny when I was zoomed way out on my Navionics, that rock pile showed up. Like that was the only like obstruction I could see way zoomed out. So I found it really, really quickly.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that also, and I mean, like a mound there, pretty much with rocks
Mm-hmm.
on it and everything. So,
Gotcha.
but it's marked with poles easily to go around. So,
That's good. And then we've got over here on this bend, uh, that comes out. Mostly, Jeremy, you mentioned at Winter Pool, um, gets pretty shallow. And we did see, we do have that bigger fluctuation of depth when they draw it down to Winter Pool level. So that would make a big difference there.
I would go straight through the in front of Devil's Step there with the boat ramp because one of the Tim's Ford rental boats last year, got stuck in the mud in that on that
Mm,
bend right there. So and that's just in summer pool. Winter pool, summer pool.
yeah,
It's a great bypass for the no wake that you have to go through in that area. So
you can
if
kind
you
of
don't,
tell, the channel pretty much hugs this side over here. So that's going to be your deeper side where all those docks are. All right, and then from there, let's see what else we got. We got this one a couple way up here. So if you're going up that direction, so you've got all these white markers here, and it looks like the channel just kind of goes and does a loop, like see they call it there. It's basically what it's doing,
yep,
and it loops back right next to itself almost. But it looks like pretty shallow in between there.
it is another rocky marked with poles. Also, it's a lot smaller than the other one, the first one that we mentioned.
Gotcha. And then if you keep on going on up, Jeremy wanted to point out this bridge up here, Rock Creek Bridge. If we get a lot of rain or whatnot, then it's not a lot of clearance to get under that bridge, right?
Correct. Yeah, it definitely swells up right there a lot. If you go straight up, that's where Dave Ramsey's house is, just right up
Okay,
there. Yeah, and Walker Hayes's is in that first slough to the left there. It's under construction there,
that
right now.
there.
Yeah, that first little slough. Yep.
Okay, cool. He's got a lot of kids.
Yeah, he is always going to basketball games for like all the elementary schools. He's always in the public side. He's a great guy. He really.
Yeah, he seems like a really great guy. Awesome. All right, so then I think there might be. Did that cover it? Actually, I think that was the
Oh,
last
those,
one.
yes.
Yep. Anything else you want to point out?
Um, yeah, you'll see at Party Cove. There's a bluff that everybody jumps off there, or a lot of people do. But even in Party Cove, right off that bluff, straight down is 70 feet deep right there. I mean, it's just crazy. Just right off the bank, it's still 70 feet
Yeah,
deep.
gotcha. Well, very cool. All right. Well, that will wrap up. Not a whole lot there. It's nice. We like that.
Yeah, we don't have a
Actually,
lot of hazards to discuss, so I figured it would probably be a little quicker than some of the other lakes. So,
yep. I'm gonna get my slideshow back up, so we'll just kind of wrap up with a couple other things, if I can get my slideshow back up. Alrighty. Let me share it. There we go. All right, so just a couple things to wrap up before we finish this one is we do offer that peace of mind. So if you are concerned about any of the hazard areas, peace of mind just kind of gives you a little bit extra. If you're going down to Florida and you're on vacation with your family and something happens, you hit something and do some damage. You don't have to worry about getting a check in the mail or a bill in the mail, I should say, from that location. Peace of mind will cover you wherever you go. We did extend the open enrollment period for that for just a couple more weeks because we realize, everything's just really getting started. People are starting to make their reservations again and get back out on the water. So you do still have now a couple more weeks if you want to opt into that. So just reach out to uh, myself, Angie.Scott at freedomboatclub.com. Or if you're East Tennessee member, you can reach out to Jason.Evans at freedomboatclub.com if you want more details on that, or to get set up within the next couple weeks here. And then some Tim's Ford Lake resources that I found. And Jeremy, you may have some other suggestions, but of course, that TVA Lake Info app, that's going to show you what the current water levels are for all the area lakes. So that's a super handy app to have. Navionics Boating and Marine Lakes, of course, that app that we were just showing you to point out where those hazard areas are. Your TWRA on the go app for fishing licenses, and also to check what the current regulations are. Like for bass, it has to be largemouth 15 inches, smallmouth 18 inches on Tim's Ford. That's going to tell you all that information you need to know. Some Facebook groups I saw that seemed pretty popular, and Jeremy, you may know some others, but Tim's Ford Lake 411, and then there's also Tim's Ford Lake Community 411. Both of those seem like they had pretty big numbers and quite a few posts going on.
For sure.
There's some fishing Tim's Ford groups if you're interested in that you might want to check out as well. Jeremy, how are you staffed down there? Are we still hiring at Tim's Ford, or are you pretty well set? Or?
Yeah, I'm set. I have no problem with that area down here. I have awesome. Way too many. So, but, I know a lot of people though. So, and I have a couple returning also. So
nice.
That's always a big help.
Well, I know several of our other locations in Middle Tennessee and probably East Tennessee as well. We're still looking to fill some dock staff positions. So reach out to us if you or you know anybody interested or any friends. It's a great job to be on the water. And I mean, how can you complain about being out there on the water and working with boats? It's great education for younger people. So reach out to operationstn at freedomboatclub.com if you're interested in that. And then Q&A, I don't know that we even had any. I'm not showing any comments that came on. I know everybody's busy. We're really getting into the season, so a lot of people will be watching this when they have time to go back and watch the recordings. So if you do have any comments, just feel free to put them in the, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, just go ahead and leave them there, and we'll continue to kind of check back if you guys have any questions. Or you can always reach out to Jeremy. I do have that number. This is the Tim's Ford dock phone number, so you can always note that down and reach out if you have any questions there. And I think that's it. So Jeremy, thanks for taking some time out of your evening to be on, and it was super helpful and informative. And I hope this, just like I said, encourages people that haven't checked it out yet to take some time this season and go down and enjoy Tim's Ford. And we'll look forward to having a member social event here soon. So, stay tuned for that. And
I've got one more thing to add.
Yeah, absolutely.
I made a map, or did an aerial map with locating the office, going down the ramp and all that, that all people that have not been to my location, I think will be a big help. That I'll text that out with the confirmation for the day. It walks them straight down to where the office is. And with the locations that I do put the people on, I tell them that also. If I'm going to put them on the fuel dock, I'll let them know that morning, hey, your boat's going to be at the fuel dock. That way they know which direction to go and not have to go two different places. So
nice.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and if you could send me that map, I'd love to have it as well, just in case, anybody wants to come by for a tour or something, and then they kind of know where to go. That would be awesome.
Will do.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next one, hopefully in a couple weeks. We'll probably head on over to East Tennessee again and hit up either Norris or Watts Bar, and we'll keep going until we get all these covered. We'll see ya.
Good night.